Greetings! Look at that, Zytac here, and today we are back with a brand new video, and today we're going to go over some of the information we have so far regarding new megas and their abilities with Pokemon Legends ZA. Because Champions is coming out later this week, and I'm going to go over so far what we know, what could happen, and of course some megas that are not going to be on this post that are probably going to have certain abilities. So let's go over this Reddit post, Legends Z Mega Evolution Abilities thread. And we're going to start off with Mega Excadrill and Mega Scovillain. These are, of course, recent. When Home got updated with Legends ZA, people try to data mine it, see what abilities they could find, and these are the only two they found. Mega Excadrill's Piercing Drill, which in short is basically going to nerf Unseen Fist. And Mega Scovillain Spicy Spray, which is basically a buff version of Flame Body. And both these abilities are really, really good. Excadrill, I thought would keep Sand Rush, but this might still be pretty good, because with the high attack that it has, and the excellent speeds here, even doing a 4th damage to Protect might still be enough, depending on the Pokemon, to pick up KOs. So you can really make a good use of that, especially in doubles, where Protect was more widely used, without having to rely on a potential Sand mode, which is what I expect Excadrill to mostly be on. Of course, Mega Scovillain is a bit weird, because its stats show it as this mixed attacker, but its bulk and speed are middling. And this is a problem with a lot of grass types. Breloom and Tropius mainly. They have good offenses, but their defenses and speed are lackluster, therefore they end up not being good Pokemon. Mega Scovillain has Rage Powder, sure, but you don't want your Mega to fill a supporting role. We saw it with Mega Audino. You don't want that. So I don't know how good Mega Scovillain's actually going to be. I think in singles it might be decent, but in doubles, I don't think it's going to be any good. I like this design, but with this ability, it's a good ability, just not on Mega Scovillain. And of course, we know that Dragonite has multi-scale. We all know what multi-scale does. Mega Meganium and Mega Soul gives it Sunny Day boost and Meganium attacks. Mega Feraligatr Dragonite, which is dragon version of Galvanize, Aerolate, Pixelate, the whole shebang. Frostlass Snow Warning. And because of Snow Warning, Frostlass might be a top tier threat when Champions comes out. I think Frostlass will be part of the meta. And with Mold Breaker, since I'm a Bulletproof, Delphox Levitate, and Greninja with Protean. Chesnaught and Greninja keep their base ability, keep their hidden abilities. Not that much of a surprise. I think that Bulletproof will still be good for Mega Chesnaught. Being immune to certain attacks, like being immune to Sludge Bomb is huge. I know it's the only poison attack, but being immune to at least one attack from a type you're weak to, pretty good. Protean for Greninja gives it stab for the first one that clicks and switches in. Given its speeds here, this is still pretty good for Greninja. Mold Breaker for Emboar is lackluster, considering the other two got brand new abilities. But I still think that Mold Breaker is good for Emboar because it allows it to ignore Levitate, as well as like Magic Bounce and like a few other abilities that Emboar doesn't really appreciate just in general. Like Unaware too, like it breaks Unaware, so it can set up bulk ups freely. It can't get Unaware blocked, and I think that's huge. A lot of people are hating on Emboar for having a Mold Breaker, but actually don't think it's going to be that bad. Dragon Eyes on Feraligatr is where I question it. I think Dragon's Maul would have been better than Dragon Eyes, but still having, I think Feraligatr's best normal type attack compared with Dragon Eyes is Body Slam, if it even gets that. Because it pairs nicely with Feraligatr's base ability in Sheer Force. But even then, Double Edge can still be useful. We see Aerolate Double Edge with Mega Salamence, but that's the thing. Feraligatr doesn't get faster when it Megas. So even though it does have some good attacks like Double Edge and Body Slam to make good use of Dragon Eyes, it's way too slow. And that's really, really going to hurt it. Mega Soul for Meganium is a cool ability. I like it. The Fairy typing on Meganium does make it serviceable, but I still don't think it's going to be a top tier meta threat because it's not fast enough. And the 4 times Venus to Poison. The Fairy type is definitely a buff. It's just that alone is not going to save Meganium. I think, though, even though that Delphox can't use Expanding Force correctly anymore because of Levitate, you can still work around that with moves like Gravity. At the very least, having it be I think design-wise, it having Levitate makes sense. It's floating on a broom. So, while people were hoping to use it in Psychic Terrain and make it a sweeper, it's still going to be good, especially in singles. And having a Fire type just immune to ground is pretty cool. I actually think that despite Delphox maybe might be written off early, but I do think Mega Frost Slash, Mega Excadrill so far are pretty good. Dragonite getting multi-scale is not shocking, but it being a special attacker, I think, doesn't make it as good as it could be, just because it basically has to play on rain to have 100% accurate hurricanes. And I don't love that. I don't love that. There are a bunch of other Megas that work better in rain than Dragonite does. Speed Tier is good, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough, especially with Mega Frost Blast, which is definitely going to be a big meta threat. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Of course, we know Mega Storm is going to have huge power. We knew that pretty much since the game came out. And of course, this list right here, this is the main thing I want to focus on right here. This is what I really want to focus on. All these new abilities that just got announced like a day or two ago. Mega Raichu Egg to the Electric Surge. I think this is fine. A lot of people expect they levitate, but I think this is fine. It gives that power up to the electric attacks, like that Volt Tackle that Raichu X is going to want to use. And it gives us a new way to use Electric Surge without the Tapu Koko or Miraidon around. So that way we can enable the Paradox Pokemon that are future without having to use Pincursion. So I do expect Mega Raichu X to see some use. Mega Clefable with Magic Bounce, that is awesome. It can't be taunted, it can't be statused with like toxic, it can still be statused, but it can't be a status with status attacks. Can't be parting shotted. I mean, unfortunately, if you try to parting shot Clefable, it'll parting shot itself. So that is something, and of course, you can't whirlwind it out either. So you can set it with Calm Mind pretty freely. And this can end up being a sweeper. You can't Encore it either. Magic Bounce will bounce the Encore. So this, I do expect Mega Clefable, even though it's probably not the strongest Mega, I do expect to see some use just because Magic Bounce makes it it makes it pretty good as a setup Pokemon. Megastaraptor with Contrary. This one I love. If this is true, Close Combat is going to give it defensive boost instead of drops. Basically, Staraptor is going to be a pretty broken Mega if it has Contrary. This allows you to get defensive boost, heal up with Roost, maybe set up a Tailwind if you're in doubles, and then really all you need is your dual stabs. Brave Bird, Close Combat, Roost, Tailwind, Protect maybe. Megastaraptor is going to be a top tier threat. It's going to be good. You can even Parting Shot your own Staraptor and give it an attack boost if it has Contrary. Now, of course, you can stop it with Status, Unaware, and just faster, stronger attackers like a Mega Frostlass. But I still think it's going to be cool enough where people are going to want to experience with it. Mega Lucario Z with Prankster. I don't love that. I'm going to be honest. I don't love that as much. The adaptability of regular Lucario. It is faster, it is stronger, but basically all this helps it with is nasty plot and coaching. And you want it to be doing damage. It's not bulky enough to make use of Prankster that well. Maybe I'm sleeping on it, but I don't see Mega Lucario Z being that insane unless people train it to be bulkier, because it will get the priority with Nasty Plot with Prankster. So maybe, I don't know. It being in Steel type does definitely save it, so we'll see if people use Mega Lucario Z. I'm a bit iffy on it. There's Mega Darkrai does keep Bad Dreams, but it's a boosted Bad Dreams. 1/4 of the max HP, rather than 1/8 when the Pokemon is asleep. So you can probably pair this with Gothitelle Shadow Tag, with Dark Void if they allow it to use Dark Void. I don't know. Dark Void might be. I don't know. But regardless, that could be pretty a cool setup to have. Mega Electros with a ability that will give it some kind of damage increase. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. It does lose Levitate, it feels like, so it will actually have a ground weakness. But because Levitate is gone, you can use it in electric terrain. I don't know how good it is going to be as a sweeper without the terrain, but with it, I can see it doing some damage just in general. Of course, now it fears ground Pokemon, but even still, Coil, Supercell, Slam, Liquidation, Drain Punch, it gets Giga Drain. It's going to be a strong Pokemon, I feel like. I don't know if it's going to be a meta threat, but it'll at least be good. It'll at least be serviceable. Mega Pyroar is a huge bummer. Thermal Boost powers up fire type moves by 50%. It's basically an extra stat on fire damage, which makes sense, giving Pyroar's whole thing, the main supposed to be the kanji for fire, the kanji for blaze. But just because it's clever doesn't mean it's good. It's not. It would much better benefit from Drought. It would be a faster Drought user than Groudon or Mega Charizard Y. And that's the main thing. It's faster than Charizard Y. So if it had Drought, Mega Pyroar might actually see some use. Even if it had adaptability, it would still get the fire damage boost and the normal damage boost. Just getting the fire boost without any sun or adaptability or whatever, I don't know if it's going to be as good. I genuinely don't know if it's going to be as good. So I feel bad for Mega Pyroar. It needed a good ability to save it. It didn't get it, and I don't think Mega Pyroar is going to be any good. Just unfortunately. Mega Crabominable with Contrary, same as Staraptor. except Cravano is more of a trick room sweeper. It does get Ice Hammer to boost its speed, but I fully believe it's going to be more used in a trick room setting. So I think Megastaraptor will still get more use, especially since they kind of nerfed TR and Champions, because I don't think there's going to be any like EVs or anything like that. So yeah, it is what it is. But I think that Cravano will still see a lot of use, especially with that ice typing offensively, paired with the fighting type coverage, might actually be pretty good because it gets coverage with Earthquake. So it might actually still see some use. Mega Drampa with Drizzle. We don't have a Mega outside of Kyogre, which is more of a primal, but we don't have a Mega that sets up Rain. We have a Mega that sets up Sun, but not one that sets up Rain. And now we do in Mega Drampa. So because of that, I do expect Mega Drampa to get some use. Mega Golisopod, I also expect to see some use with Tough Claws, actually giving it good enough offenses with a pretty good typing in Bug Steel, while also having water coverage for the fire types. I do expect him to see some use. Mega Megairion was so hard, it won't be in the game. Mega Zeraora with speed boost, that's actually really, really good. Mega Zeraora will definitely be broken now because it has speed boost. Megairion being so hard makes sense. We won't see them because they're mythicals, like Darkrai, so we probably won't see them right. Actually, no, we might see them. We never won't see any of the legendaries, but we might see the mythicals. I don't know. We'll see how they design it, but it would be pretty cool to see the mythicals early, but they probably won't be available right away. Glimmora with Levitate also makes a lot of sense given its design. Having that 4 times weakness becoming immunity is super huge, but I would have preferred Rocky Payload just to have the extra Rock Stab, kind of like how Pyroar got Thermal Boost for Fire Stab. But even because Bomber's signature ability is Rocky Payload gets a Rock Stab, it wouldn't have worked good for Glimmora because it's very hard to find good rock attacks these days. But Levitate also makes a lot of sense, and I do think it'll be really, really good now that it has an immunity to one of its greater weaknesses. So yeah, that's going to be huge for sure for Glimmora. I can't wait to see how that will be used in the meta. Mega Tatsugiri, it says its ability exists. It gets an ability that exists, but we don't know what it's going to be. It's not going to be Commander. It could be Storm Drain, but I doubt they'll give it Storm Drain. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up working out. And then Mega Dax Kettle with Thermal Exchange, it makes sense for it to keep the ability that makes it good. So that is what it is. That is how it looks like they're going to make it. Of course, there's other Megas too, like Victory Bell probably will get Corrosion. I really hope they let Gurgalji keep adaptability. Barbarical might keep Tough Claws. I'm not that sure. It wouldn't shock me too much, but that would be 4, maybe 5 Megas with Tough Claws. Mega Charizard X, Mega Metagross, Mega Aerodactyl, Mega Golisopod, and Mega Barbarical if it does keep Tough Claws. But I mean, it would make sense for it to keep Tough Claws. As much as all the Megas too. Mega Skarmory might keep Weak Armor. That would be pretty cool, I would say. So that would Swords Dance sets with like Weak Armor could be like actually pretty busted. Mega Raichu Y. Transistor's ability is an ability I see out there a lot. Mega Absol Z might get Sharpness because Night Slash and Shadow Claw both became slicing moves. So that would be pretty cool if Mega Absol Z got a Sharpness. There's a lot of other very weird abilities that other Megas could get that I've seen thrown out there a lot. But the end result is we're not going to know most of them or all of them until Champions comes out. So, and of course, these are just leaks. These are not all guaranteed. But most of these I do expect to be right, given that the Piercing Drill and the Spicy Extract came from this leak. So I do think that this is taken with a grain of salt, that these abilities are real. and I think that these megas will get these abilities. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. I can't wait for the 8th to play Champions. Hopefully, it has like a story mode because I would love to stream the game. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays. I'm very excited to find out. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure you guys stay good just like me. And it's all that happened now. So next time, gamers. Falcon Punch!